So you remember her? Christine Blasey Ford? Yes. Yes. So put the right up there with your E. Jean Carroll's, no different. And they all seem to be connected to the same thing seems to be what's bothering them the most, which is abortion in many cases. Yeah. Yeah, this sick obsession that they have with this abortion thing, like for those that just think it's about a woman's right or to choose, or it's about your reproductive health. No, it's not. Again, go to PubMed, put in abortion, go even back to the 80s. It's about population control, but it's about more than that, because, that abortion has become one of these things where it's also about, it's moving that, where they want to kill the baby as soon as it's being delivered. That's infanticide. Look up infanticide. Yeah, that's been being talked about. So they want to make that a woman's right to choose, to kill the live human being. Like for years it was the argument about, when does life begin? I mean, it should be obvious it has a heartbeat. Hello? But they had a bunch of people convinced because of this woman's right to choose and woman's reproductive rights. So that one of her biggest driving forces, and her own attorney said it, is why she did what she did, is because of the fear of Roe v. Wade being overturned, which it did then in 2022. But that's why they went balls to the wall against Kavanaugh, because it was going to change the dynamics of the court. So overturning and Roe v. Wade. But there's an obsession that these people have. And if you're awake, you know that it's more than just, it has nothing to, it's not about a woman's right to choose. It's something very dark and twisted in regards to the abortion. That's all I'll say. But getting back to her background, it's important to know it. So she has a PhD, she has several in psychology, and then experimental psychology. She has worked in the academic and private sector as a biostatistician and research psychologist. Since 1998, she has worked as a research psychologist and biostatistician in the Stanford School of Medicine Psychiatry Department. Since 2011, she has been a psychology professor in the PGSP Stanford Consortium for Clinical Psychology, a collaborative program between Palo Alto University and Stanford. She teaches such things as psychometrics, methodologies, statistics, that kind of stuff. But she does more than that. Like she wrote a paper for the behavior therapy. It's like one of your journals on the social impact of hiding one's sexual orientation. That was published in 2016 in the Journal of Behavior Therapy. Interesting. These are the people, especially if they have the psychology ones, that write the journals and stuff. I really question them. I do, a lot of them. Yeah. There's just, yeah. So one of her big beefs is that Trump was cutting research. This was before 2020, by the way, obviously. So her and some scientists were already protesting because Trump was cutting funding to research science. I think all of us can agree that that is definitely needed to happen. We didn't know it back then. We certainly do now, right? Because they're out of control with their research and not having any moral compass when they do all of it. So, and she's written papers about children and psychology. Like, that just disturbs me. It explains so many things, why so many things are wrong today. People like this. Furthermore, so she also performed consulting work for multiple pharmaceutical companies. Yep. She formerly worked as the director of biostatistics at Corcept Therapeutics and biostatistical consultant for Titan Pharmaceuticals and Brain Resources. She has collaborated with the FDA, academic and industry statistics, including leading roundtable discussions in the American Statistical Association's annual FDA industry meeting that focuses on statistical analysis in industry FDA interactions. She is widely published in her field. Yes, that's what's most disturbing in my opinion. So regarding her ties to the Corcept pharmaceutical company, so the main drug for them, one of the biggest, is Korlym. They're backed by Silicon Valley, and their drug Korlym, Korlym, that's what they're most known for, and it treats is it hyperglycemia? Yeah, it's they launched their prescription medicine Korlym, a cortisol receptor blocker to control hyperglycemia. So this drug is still used today, but there was some controversy that came under because the active ingredient they use is mifepristone, also known as RU486, which is a medication typically used in combination with misoprostol to bring about abortion. So the abortion pill, the active ingredient in that drug. So they ended up having, I think they have to put a warning on to people that take it for hyperglycemia or Cushing's disease, that kind of stuff. That's one of the drugs that's tied to them. And actually, who backs Corcept is biotech pharma. If you know of anything about, if you've looked into any of the pharma stuff, you know biotech is it's right up there with Pfizer. So see, she has all these ties to these things. All these things that all seem to go back to what? Baby killing. Yeah, baby. I'm just saying it's, you can call that crazy. No, that's something all of these people seem to have in common. And yet then they suddenly, they've been victimized, right? Yeah, but yet her own lawyer came out. Here, I'll read the quote from her lawyer. Quote, Christine Ford's lawyer, Deborah Katz, says, quote, an asterisk next to Kavanaugh's name in case Kavanaugh attacked Roe v. Wade is part of what motivated Christine, end quote. Motivated her to do this because they saw what was happening. Trump's cutting research funding, and then Trump's going to nominate somebody that they know then would change the dynamics of the court. And so what do? They go all out. Like I said, they serve their party. That's any means, nothing. There's no boundaries. We do whatever we have to do. They're that, and these are the same people that are supposedly experts. Like she writes about behavior therapy and in regards to children and gender, really all tying to the same things that right now we're dealing with. These are not experts. There's something like just not right with these people. I'm not saying that to be mean. There just is. There's just something not right. And it's interesting that it all ties back. It doesn't matter if it's the women on The View, doesn't matter if it's her, E. Jean Carroll, they all tie back to the same thing. This far left radical Marxist feminist group that demands abortion, more than just demands it. They want to kill the baby. It's about killing a human being. You may not like that if you're on the left. You may think, oh, you're just crazy. No, why are all these people the ones that end up, they're so victimized? Why do they all have these same backgrounds, huh? Yeah, talk about statistics. There's a pattern there, a pattern that is not good. And it has nothing to do with women's rights. She has nothing to do. She doesn't care about women's rights. Her motivation, her own lawyer said it was because of Kavanaugh getting on the Supreme Court, because God forbid Roe v. Wade be overturned. And what's happened when Roe v. Wade was overturned? You saw these people demanding, no, I want to kill my baby. That just doesn't look good. It doesn't. It doesn't look good when you're out there demanding, I'm going to kill my baby. I want to kill my baby. I mean, that just looks sick. Sorry, but it does. It's not about you wanting rights or having women's rights. It's about you just wanting, let's face it, to kill.